What's up, insiders? Deuces Jack at VapingInsider.com. Today, we're going to be going over the IPV Mini V3. Now, I'm going to tell you, right off the bat, man, love this little device. Very well built, performs well, but it's got some issues that I'm going to go over in detail. And the issues aren't so much, with the device. I think it's more of the mentality that China takes towards marketing to us. And I got to point this stuff out because it's really starting to get annoying. So make sure you watch the whole video, find out all my thoughts on this one. Before we get into the video, make sure you check out our new merch site. You can get my tagline on a shirt or a hoodie. Check that out, man, huh? That's kind of interesting, right? Kind of got like a stained glass kind of look there. I'm digging that, all right? I like the finish here. Nice tiny screen, fire button, plus minus button, which also doubles as a manual squonk button. Up is to squonk, down is to suck the juice back out. This is an auto squonk. It has a pump in it. While you're vaping it, you can actually feel it pumping the juice into the atomizer. It's kind of cool, kind of innovative, kind of different, all right? Big con right off the jump, and let me tell you why, okay? Let me count the ways this atomizer has cons, okay? First of all, no removable drip tip. That's a con. You cannot take this piece off. That's a con. You cannot rebuild it. That's a con. You cannot re-wick it. That's a con. It's a weird size. I think it's 22 millimeters. That's a con. It has a material in it I've never heard of. NIMN. I looked it up. MN is manganese. I have no idea what that is, and I've been vaping for 7 years. I don't know what it is. I don't feel comfortable with the material in there. I wish IPV would come out with some sort of explanation for it. And the last con on this atomizer is going to be proprietary connection. IPV, are you freaking kidding me, man? How the hell do you make a non-rewickable, non-rebuildable proprietary connection for this? This is absolute bullshit. You got to be kidding me, man. This is just not the way to do things. I understand you want to make money, but this is not the way to go about it. Now, the good news is, on the bottom here, we have a gold-plated firing pin, I guess I'll call it, because it's not a 510. You have some IPV branding there, 0.30 ELF RDA. Just wanted to give you some perspective, do a size comparison. This is the Lost Vape Orion Q. Of course, this is the mod we're going over. This is the CKS Junior. You can see the reason I use the Orion is because this is probably the most copied form factor in the pod market right now. And I really didn't want to compare this to other squonkers because this is like a hybrid. It's almost a cross between a squonker and a pod. So that's why I wanted to compare it to pods, because I think it's more pod than squonker. Here it is next to the Junior by CKS. You can see, very similar in size. I got to admit, when I see this next to other pods, I wish IPV would have banged this out a little more, made it a single 18650 mod, maybe increase the capacity a little bit, and make the top be able to take 24 millimeter atomizers. Had they done that, I think they would have had the ultimate squonker, the ultimate winner on their hands. And I think they should have went with a different chip and not just done temperature control. They would have done those things, man. They would have had a great concept and a great mod. But unfortunately, I don't think they thought a lot of this stuff through, and I think they dropped the ball a bit on this mod. There's your proprietary squonking pin. I don't even know. No, it's not spring-loaded, man. There's no spring on this whatsoever. It's a stationary pin. Stainless steel threading around here. Stainless steel plate with 2 star screws holding it in place, okay? I like this little cutoff on the edge here. That's a nice job because when you're holding it, you can kind of rest your thumb there and then fire. I kind of like that, all right? On the bottom here, micro USB port on the bottom. What the hell, IPV? What, there wasn't enough real estate all over this thing where you couldn't have put it on the side? I mean, at least put it on this side instead of the bottom. I do not like that. It's a con. Now you can see right there it says 1400 milliamp hour battery. That's definitely a pro. Now on the back here, we got some branding. It's kind of big. All right, Yeehee ESS driver. It's all right. It's not terrible. It's black on black. I don't mind it that much. One thing I do mind are these stainless steel screws. I think they look out of place on the black mod. I think they should have went with black screws. Now here's the other thing, okay? You can see it says no atomizer there, right? There's no way to shut this thing off. You can't shut it off. You can only lock it with 3 clicks. Let me attach the atomizer so we don't get the no atomizer thing. All right, so there we go. You can see it's only run in temperature control mode, okay? Right now, this number here, if you press the up button, you see 51, 52, 53, right? That's the amount of juice you're squonking into the atomizer when you take a pull. They recommend 50. I've been using it at 50. It kind of works fine, no issues. There's your degrees right there, 500 degrees Fahrenheit. There's your battery life. Now, in order to enter the main menu system, 5 clicks, okay? Now you can see I can switch between 500 degrees Fahrenheit or 260 Celsius. Here's where you can adjust your temperature up or down. It maxes out at 500 degrees. Okay, hit the fire button again. You can adjust between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Hit the button again. You can adjust between P1 and P2. I've been keeping it on P2. All right, now there's no way to get out of this menu system. You just kind of have to wait for it to time out. And like I said, every time you do hit the fire button, it does squonk juice into the atomizer. Let me show you how to fill this thing up. You got this little squonk pod right here. You just kind of pop it off like that. Very hard. Like a hard plastic, okay? Almost feels like glass, but it's not. All right, you take that part off. Now you see you got your metal rod here, much like the Wismic squonkers that we've seen before. The only difference is there's not a soft bottle around this metal rod. This has an automatic pump attached to it, and there's a hard bottle or squonk storage area for your juice. So here is the squonk container. Nice looking container. I like the way they shaped it and everything. Real nice. Over here you can see this is your fill port. This is where the air escapes. This little guy holds 3.5 mLs of juice. Juice we're going to be using today is Cream Monster Guava Nut. This is a guava, hazelnut, and custard juice. Let me tell you something. I don't like guava. I don't like hazelnut. I do like custards. For some reason, the guava and the hazelnut absolutely work well together. This is an extremely tasty juice. Make sure you check it out. So now we're going to take our little 3.5 ml squonk section here. You got to make sure you shove that needle nose in there, man, because otherwise you're going to have a tough time filling it. It's going to make a mess, all right? And just give it a squeeze, baby. Fill that up just like that. Now we're all filled and we're ready to vape. You can turn it upside down. No juice comes out. I do like that feature, all right? Now all we got to do is pop this into the mod. Only one way to put this in, okay? This little cutout here has to face the outside, okay? Now one thing I wish they would have done, which would have been a lot nicer, is instead of having to remove this to fill it, why didn't they just put that rubber plug right there, man? Let me rip that rubber plug off, fill it from here, and be done with it. Why do I even have to take this off? I mean, just another little thing that they just didn't think of. I mean, really, man, what were you thinking? Why didn't you just make this easier and make it a side fill? It would have been so much better. So let me show it to you all put together. All right, insiders, let's get into those cons and pros, and let's talk about some of those issues in the cons and pros that I spoke about in the beginning of the video. First of all, this thing only comes with one pod, one atomizer, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's a major fail, all right? Companies are not listening. You can't put one of these things in a kit. It's wrong on all kinds of levels, and this is an issue with China because they're just not listening. Another thing China doesn't listen about that's a major con, this thing has a proprietary connection to it. That's a bunch of BS, man. I don't want to see devices with proprietary connections. There's no need for it. You guys aren't Apple, man. What the hell do you think you're doing? You're just basically forcing us to buy your stuff instead of being able to put our own atomizer on it. It's a con, and it's a huge con that needs to be pointed out. I don't want to see this becoming a thing with these proprietary connections. This is bullshit. Now look, I'm a free market capitalist. I'm all for companies making as much money as they could possibly make. But to not make this thing at the very least, rewickable is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that they sealed up that atomizer and you can't pull this thing off and rewick, listen, I got no problems if you don't want me replacing the wire. That's fine. But let me at least rewick it. It's a major con. It's just something, it's cheeky, man. It pisses me off when I see stuff like this because I know what the company is doing. I know why they're doing it. It's just, you know, it's not a good look for you in the vaping community as far as I'm concerned. That charge port on the bottom, why'd you have to put that thing on the bottom, man? There's plenty of real estate on this thing. You could have put that charge port anywhere. But again, China not listening to consumers and putting that crap on the bottom, it's a con. Another thing I think they could have done better, that little tank there, right? Why do I got to pull it out to fill it? Why didn't you just put a tab on the side there? Let me lay the thing down like this and let me fill it this way. Why didn't you do that? I mean, you're just not thinking. So many little things could have made this pod system, or whatever you want to call it, so much better. And it just seems like IPV just dropped the ball and they were just being ignorant about it. And when I say ignorant, I mean not well informed. Internal battery mod, I mean, man, all you guys had to do was bang this thing out a little more so you could put like 24 millimeter atomizers on it, put an 18650 in it, keep everything the same, make the capacity a little bigger, and this thing would have been a home run. But you didn't do that. You went with an internal battery mod. Only TC mode? Really? Come on, man. Just give me a break. Coil material? I don't know what that coil material is. Manganese? I don't know. I looked it up. I have no idea what that is. You know, I'm hearing rumors that it's just straight Kanthal. I don't know. Why would you want to, if it is straight Kanthal, why would you want to call it that? I don't get it. It's a con. You can't turn the thing off. You can only lock it. I don't like that. That's a con. And the last con is going to be a little subjective. You know, that squonking while you're pulling on it, you kind of got to get used to it because at first it does feel a little weird. So that's a con, but it's a subjective con. But that's it on the cons, man. I had to get that off my chest because I just feel like this device could have been so much more if they just would have tweaked this thing a little bit and done the right thing. Let's move on to the pros, though. First pro is going to be, man, this thing vapes well. There's no denying that. Let me show you what I'm working with here. I got it at 500 degrees. I got a nice custard in here that I like. All right, check it out. I'm getting nice flavor. I get decent heat. Definitely, you know, warmer than you would get on a typical pod. The flavor's good. The clouds are good. There's nothing to complain about here. I love the AUTO-SQUONK feature. That's kind of awesome, even though it takes some getting used to. I like the ability to manually squonk if my coil gets dry or suck the juice back. That's innovative. The whole squonking system is innovative. It's all a pro. It does fire fast. It's got some nice build quality to it. It's slim. It's very pocketable. It's an easy carry. I love the colors on this one. It's got great colors. It's just a looker. The price point for 2 pods at 10 bucks, 5 bucks a pod, whatever you're calling this thing, pods, atomizers, whatever you're calling it. The price point on it, 5 bucks each. It's not a bad deal, but you gotta put 2 in the kit. You know, the aftermarket price is not bad. Even if you're gonna charge me another 5 bucks, put 2 in the kit. And I only have the NIMN one. Apparently there's going to be a stainless steel one available, or it's available already. So that's nice to see. I'll give them a pro for that, but I would really like to try the stainless steel one. That's it on my cons and pros. Like I said, you know, I want to make it clear. I really like this device. I really do. I like the way it vapes. I like the way it feels in my hand. I think they did a bang-up job with it. It's very innovative. I just think they didn't take a lot of things on this mod to its logical conclusion. And that's the only reason I pointed all that out, because I think this thing could have been so much better had they put just a little bit more thought into it. You know, some of the cheeky stuff they pulled, like, you know, the one atomizer, not being able to rewick, the proprietary connection, I don't expect that stuff from IPV. That's crap I expect from companies like Vupu. I don't expect that from IPV at all. And I gotta say, I'm very disappointed in those aspects of the device. And that's it, man. That's where I'm gonna leave it. You know, yous are all adults. You make your own decision as to whether you want to buy something like this or not. Let's go over some of the specs on the IPV Mini V3. It has a Yeehy SX635J chipset in it. The battery is 1,400 milliamp hours. It has a 3.5 ml capacity. It goes up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Protections include low voltage, overheat, short circuit, and low resistance. It's available in a couple of really nice colors. Want to give a huge shout out to Element Vape for sending this one my way. Definitely check them out. They're an awesome vendor with fantastic pricing and great customer service. We're going to have a link down below. Thanks for watching the video, Insiders. Definitely appreciate it. Remember, we're not a monetized channel, so we'd appreciate it if you check out our new merch store. You can get my tagline on a shirt like you see me wearing, or you can get it on a hoodie as well. We have some other great designs that you can put on a t-shirt or hoodie. Here's another one of them. Vape King shirt. And here's one of my personal favorites, Vape So Hard, the FDA Wanna Find Me. Go over to our new store and check it out. And that's it, Insiders. That's all I got for you today. You keep living that vape life. We're out of here. Deuces.